KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Wednesday afternoon, halfway home to the weekend, and it is time once again for Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Proetti along with Nick Proetti, and here's what's going on. Well, we'll get to that in just a second. Let's tell you who's sponsoring our program. Those great folks, Mars Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons, open 7 days a week. Open Monday through Friday. Across the street is First Tier Bank. Talk to them about their special CD rates with great APYs. Lennox Auto Body ×2, the main auto and truck repair center on Dunn Avenue, and the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs, and you can get some great sundry supplies inside at Medicap Pharmacy. Bluegrass Circle, next door to Texas Roadhouse. Platte Valley Bank, 2 banking locations. Eastsiders, you can catch them at the corner of College and Pershing, and the original location on Vandehigh. Key of Cheyenne, 18's got to go. Making room for the 19, so some sensational buys always can be found, but right now especially at Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Chick-fil-A, we know them for lunch, we know them for dinner. You need to know them for breakfast. And again, with 2 convenient drive-thrus in the morning, you can get in, get out, get your food, and head off to work. Chick-fil-A. See them for breakfast Monday through Saturday, corner of Windmill and Delrange across from Menards. John Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30, having a hail of a sale right now. Jayco fans, you need to check out the Jayco travel trailers, fifth wheels, RVs, all specially priced during their hail of a sale. And Taco John's over in Cheyenne. All kinds of Taco John's locations for you. Check out their loaded potato olays. Their 3 for $5 tacos. How about their 6-pack and a pound? And don't forget, every Tuesday, like it was yesterday, is Taco Tuesday over at Taco John's of Cheyenne. And we get things underway with our scoreboard. I see I've got some baseball scores, and we'll get to those here in just a moment. Our scoreboard is brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We'll go first to Nick.
LCCC men's and women's soccer in action coming up tonight. They will be at home here in Cheyenne. We'll start with the men's side of things as they will get underway early at 1:30, or at least they should be wrapping up with their contest against Gillette College over there at LCCC, so hopefully we'll pass along a score for that. And then coming up at around 4 o'clock or just after the men wrap up, it will be the women in action taking on Gillette College. So again, men and women soccer happening here in town right now. And hopefully on the men's side, we'll get that score and pass it along to you very quickly. And also, too, do want to remind folks again, coming up this Friday will be high school football action here on 1480 K-Ray, as we'll bring you Central High Indians at the Laramie Plainsman. That will be a 7 o'clock kickoff, 6:30-ish pregame show here on 1480 AM. 101.1 FM, also too streaming online at 1480kray.com, and also too video live streaming on Periscope and the 1480 K-Ray YouTube channel.
Major League Baseball, technically they're not out of it for that final wild card spot in the AL. The Tampa Bay Rays, who sit 5 games behind Oakland, they pick up a win this afternoon at Texas against the Rangers 9-3. Cardinals lose. That's good news to a certain degree for both L.A. and for Colorado. It was the Bravos winning in Cumberland, Georgia 7-3. Twins over the Tigers 8-2 in Detroit. Games getting underway. Matter of fact, during our show, it will be the Mets at the Phillies. That'll be at 4:05. 5 o'clock games will have the Bo Sox and the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. The Orioles will host the Blue Jays. Kansas City's at Pittsburgh. The White Sox and the Indians at Progressive Field. 5:40 will see the Reds and the Brewers hook up at Miller Park. 6 o'clock games will have the M's at the Astros and the 7 o'clock hour at Petco. Giants and the Padres. Giants looking for the sweep in that series. The Cubs and the Diamondbacks at Chase Field, 8 o'clock tonight. The Rockies and the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium with Colorado now a game and a half behind Los Angeles. Tyler Anderson on the hill for the Rocks. He'll be opposed by Walker Buehler. We don't need to make any light of Buehler's last name. And also in the 8 o'clock hour be the Halos and the Swingin' A's in the Oco for this evening. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it.
A Touchstone Energy partner.
Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials.
Another round of Supervise heard only right here. Jameson Irish Whiskey, 750 milliliter bottle, $16.99. Camarena Silver or Reposado Tequila, 750 milliliter bottle, $15.49. And Tecate or Tecate Light, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, $11.49.
Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader.
The message is simple. Drive sober or get pulled over. If you drink and drive, remember it's illegal and it can cost you your freedom or worse, your life. It's been determined that a blood alcohol content of 0.08% or more can impair you considerably when you are behind the wheel. Financially, it can devastate you if you get arrested. More importantly, it could result in losing a friend or a family member. That price is too high to pay. Call a designated driver after enjoying a night out and get home safe. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with a possible thunderstorm this afternoon with highs around 73. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with the rain showers likely with lows around 49. On Thursday, it'll continue to be mostly cloudy with highs around 74. And on Thursday night, it'll be clear skies with lows around 41.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today, waiting for our first guest to get freed up, and we will chat with him here in just a moment. He finally speaks after what happened on Sunday, that being, and I know Nick's going to roll his eyes and go, I care. But for the first time since his abrupt in-game retirement, former Buffalo Bills cornerback Vontae Davis speaks out about the moment that changed his life.
Did he come out with this statement on Monday, though?
Looks like today, the 19th.
Well, he posted up something, I do believe, on Twitter or something on some social media side. Again, kind of a diatribe right after that. I do believe it was on Monday, so which was kind of outlining of, again, as I mentioned to you, I do believe on Monday show of that. He said, again, it was injuries, or at least he thought family was, again, more important. Was his career worth it? He just decided it was time to call it quits because, again, he wasn't sure of was it worth it to continue on.
He says here to this one reporter, I went to the bench after that series and it just hit me, Davis said. I don't belong on that field anymore. Davis told defensive back coach John Butler, I'm done, and returned to his spot on the bench. The coach didn't reply. With just 47 seconds until halftime on Sunday, the Bills' defense went back on the field for 2 inconsequential plays before the half. Lafayette Pitts replaced Davis at cornerback. For Davis, that game day mornings felt no different from many others he had experienced in his 9 previous NFL seasons, waking up in a hotel, eating, reviewing notes. I felt normal, he said, with rhythm and blues playing through the speakers of his white Mercedes S550 sedan. He drove to the stadium, continuing with his usual pregame routine. Davis hydrated, stretched, and did some light drills while playing hip-hop through his headphones. It's normally randomly selected Rick Ross, but I always make sure I listen to Tears of Joy at least once, fulfilling a promise to his grandmother.
You're boring me to tears with this.
I'm going to give you the whole shooting match.
Who cares?
Fulfilling a promise to his grandmother, he recited Psalm 23 twice before every game, then went to work. And then halftime came around. He said, I'm done.
I don't care.
Exactly. Again, with Vontae Davis, he already mentioned on Monday, he put out a diatribe of saying, hey, was it worth it to continue on? His health, his family was more important. He called it quits. His teammates did not like that, and understandably so. Who cares? Well, he's out of the league. Would anyone... Vontae Davis he might entertain coming back. It would not surprise me if this was kind of a power play move to just say, hey, Bills, I don't want to drown out my career here, where again the Bills are going to float with 0-16. We know that this team, Buffalo, is just terrible in the NFL, but it's a situation. It would not surprise me if Vontae Davis does come back at a later point in time of realizing, hey, I feel healthy. I want to play. Maybe it's not this year. Maybe it's next season. But something tells me this is a weird power play move to just say, I don't want my career to die here in Buffalo.
No.
I'll try somewhere else.
I disagree. And again, he's the brother of Vernon Davis, who, of course, we know from the 49er days, and had a little stint with the Denver Broncos. Matter of fact, Vontae Davis is unbothered by the critics of his unprecedented move, from analysts preaching brotherhood and loyalty to fans tweeting that his actions were akin to soldiers leaving their platoon mates to die in the middle of a battle. He's heard all of it, although Davis refused to respond.
I don't
to
know
those
if I go that
critiques.
heavy.
Well, that's what people are saying. I'm not saying this, okay? Although
I'm just saying those who
like
have are just dumb.
Well, that's Buffalo
to compare
fans.
that stuff, but again, understandable that some teammates didn't have choice words and were not too happy of that. Again, hey, we're all out this. It's a team effort. You're playing a team game, and it almost seemed very selfish of what Vontae Davis did, of going, well, sorry, team, this is about me. I need to do this for myself. Bye-bye. The rest of you can deal with the ramifications. And it is a little bit of selfish, and completely understand why his teammates, and I think those Buffalo teammates have all the right to emphasize, or at least kind of speak their mind of going, we don't appreciate you. We didn't appreciate what you did. I don't think Vontae Davis at this point in time deserves to even come back as a Buffalo Bill if he does beg, or if he does change his mind here maybe in a few weeks, or come to later in the season, maybe next season. If I'm Buffalo and those Bills teammates of his, or at least former teammates, I'd be like, no.
Well, here's the deal.
You don't get a shot. You quit on us before. What says you're not going to quit again?
Right. The crazy thing, this is from him. The crazy thing is that people automatically assume that something is wrong with me mentally. Standing up on the precipice of life, he has never known a life with no football, a life without the guardrails of football's regiments. Davis is enthusiastic. I feel great. I haven't felt like this as he paused to consider, as he's talking to this reporter, in my whole life. So I think he's done. He's over.
Granted,
I haven't really heard much from Vernon Davis about this, though.
Well, Vernon's got other things to focus on. He's got his own career, but
in Washington.
With Vontae, though, again, we've seen this with a lot of players. Again, namely so of a few 49ers that we've followed.
Well, Patrick
Willis would be number one, doing that early retirement. Again, that was more of just injuries and concussions and knowing what we do know about, again, what happens post your NFL career. But if it is for those reasons, it does not surprise me if Vontae Davis just did that. He just did it at the wrong time. You don't do it at halftime. I would say, if anything, if you had those feelings beforehand, if he did at all before that game, just let him know. Just go, hey, team, set up a meeting Thursday, Friday, I don't know, again, sometime before that game, go, hey, I can't do this anymore. I don't like where my body's at. I'm not feeling it. I need to call it quits. I need to give up on my career, wrap up the career as is. Not do it during the game when your team is depending on you. Not at halftime like that. I think he did it at a wrong time. Again, this is, if it is for those reasons, as he says, and I'd like to believe him for that, so it was just wrong timing.
This is the National Football League, Nick.
He's not the first piece to fall, again, at least have that early retirement. We've seen it very recently, very often here in the NFL.
But not like how he did, though. I mean, that was a first. There's a lot of firsts that are happening now.
He just did it in a poor way.
Yeah.
Poor timing, poor way, and that's going to hurt his legacy if he has one in the NFL, but also, too, again, amongst his Buffalo teammates. And, again, if he does want to return back to the NFL, which there could be that possibility, I think it hurts his stock going towards the rest of the 31 teams in the league going,
well, they're not going to pay him a pile of money to play, that's for sure.
But also, too, are you worth the risk? Are you worth the money where you already quit on one team during a game? Who says you're not going to quit on us week one and take the money and run?
Moving along, because, like you said, for you being bored with that, you sure had a great opinion about it. Tennessee,
we're beating a dead horse.
No, we're not.
We're talking about it on Monday.
It's like he finally has spoke up to a reporter, and this is what he said.
Well, he already had his thoughts, and it was cut and dry on Monday.
Yeah, but
what he posted.
Again, tweeting and actually giving your thoughts one-on-one to somebody else is a different story.
It wasn't that different.
The Tennessee Titans were hoping for some progress for their injured quarterback, Marcus Mariota. This is kind of scary. Again, they're finding every which way to protect a quarterback right now. I mean, you sneeze on the quarterback, you might get flagged for it. Yeah. Well, anyway, Mariota,
can't hit him below. You can't do helmet to helmet anymore. Again, I understand it a bit, but also too, it's what's the fine line between NFL, at least playing football, and playing just two-hand touch.
But ask yourself how much these guys are making to each franchise too. We're looking at $30 million, $28 million.
Yeah, but that's the price. That's the price of the game. It's kind of with baseball.
I agree with you. You're not going to get an argument out of me.
Here's your star player of a Bryce Harper or whoever. He runs injury anytime he goes out there. Maybe he, runs into a player. Look at what happened with Buster Posey, who I would say the face of the franchise for the Giants. Guess what? You had a Florida Marlin crash into him at home plate. Guess what? His entire season was done.
And they made the Buster Posey rule now, because I know when I catch, you have to be in front of the plate now. You can't block the plate, straddle it. You have to be in front of it, then make the tag. So, again, that initiated the Buster Posey rule. The Tom Brady rule got initiated after Tom hurt his knee, right? After they hurt his knee. So,
anyway, he's got a lot of rules on him. Again, the tuck rule and all that fun stuff.
There's all kinds of good things now to protect the quarterback. Anyway, so Mariota is still feeling tingling in two of his fingers on his right throwing hand, from which he was sidelined by an elbow injury in the season opener. Head coach Mike Vrabel said Mariota's status remains after practice today about where the quarterback was when he was listed as a limit participant on Thursday and Friday and didn't start in week 2. So, according to Mariota, the team's trainer said the injured nerve that is causing the tingling in his fingers is like a guitar string that is strummed. He said the nerve has to take time to settle down because it's like a guitar string, and it has been kind of strummed each day for Mariota. Starts with him contracting and expanding his hand to see how it feels. Again, getting hit in your elbow, your knees, your ankles, getting thrown on your chest, whatever the case may be. Again, the quarterback.
Guess what? He goes through same stints that probably cornerbacks have to deal with, running backs, receivers, offensive linemen. Oh, well, he's dealing with the complications. Again,
the quarterback is not built.
I mean, hell, a kicker can get in.
I understand, but the quarterback probably, next to the kicker, is the least, and again, I don't want to disrespect that position, the least physically built type of athlete. No, again, they're not.
Have you seen a Josh Allen out there? Again,
I understand, but they're not in the weight room like the offensive linemen are. They're not pushing 400 pounds of weight.
Yeah, not expecting that. But hey, again, you're going into this game. You've already seen it through college ranks as well too. There's nothing. It's nothing new to Marcus Mariota. Let's be honest. Playing through the Pac-12 up in Oregon for him, there's nothing new. He's seen the likes of athletes of what you're kind of seeing here in the NFL. Again, a lot of those players in the Pac-12 now playing against him or playing for him here in the NFL. It's nothing new. You signed up for the job. You signed that contract. You had that option. Again, you're not forced to play in the NFL, but you chose to,
and again,
that's what runs with it.
It is absolutely true what they say. Playing in the National Football League definitely is a step up from D1. There's no doubt about it. They hit harder. They're bigger. They're faster in the National Football League. And, yes, you're going to get hurt. But, again, you look at all of the protection rules that are in place for the quarterback right now. And, again, where you say we might as well just play two-hand touch on the quarterback.
Well, I'm not saying that
point.
It's getting, again, that fine line of where are we, what can and can't do to a quarterback. And there's a lot of can'ts more than there is cans. And you are seeing players be very vocal about this. Hell, you're even seeing it in the college ranks of, well,
what can we do? What can't we do?
Yeah. I think we even saw it at least in the Wofford, Wyoming contest of, again, we saw it wasn't even a late hit, but it was a little bit lower than the belt and cost Wyoming at least a quick little penalty, at least a personal foul.
We saw that down at CSU, too, against Arkansas, if I remember that right.
Well, I remember it from last Saturday where, again, it was a little low on the knees, and it's, again, I understand it, but also, too, it's something that I can absolutely understand of why defensive men or, again, cornerbacks, linemen, whatever, are getting frustrated with this of what do we do? I mean, how do we stop a quarterback? They have this, basically this protection bubble around them, and we can't do our job without running the risk of a penalty. Well, now I have to adjust it. I have to, again, go against what I've known to basically try to avoid a 15-yard penalty or a personal foul or something like that. It's something that the NFL is trying to address. They're doing poorly like they usually do on dressing things.
Well, I think, too, and to interrupt you there, excuse me, is the officials. They have to make that judgment call.
Yeah.
So if you're blitzing from your linebacker position, you're knocked down by one of the interior linemen, and you happen to grab you by the ankles, and then you go down. Is that a penalty? I mean, what's going to constitute a penalty and what's not going to constitute a penalty? So again, I agree with you. It
seems like there's way
too many rules.
Yeah, way too many penalties in the game today.
All right, well, we need to take a timeout. We're hoping to hook up with our first guest. Unfortunately, he was busy, and maybe he might be a go when we come back after this break. We'll be back with more right here on 1480 K-Ray.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
All right, good half of football, boys. Now, good is good, but we can always be better.
In control by getting pre-approved and know what you have to spend before going to the dealer. Call 432-7400, go to firstedfcu.com, or visit us in person at 120 West Carlson Street with approved credit, membership eligibility required, federally insured by NCUA.
The Army National Guard is committed to keeping the country safe and our communities secure. Composed of hundreds of thousands of citizen soldiers from all walks of life, the Guard is always ready to respond to local or national emergencies. We protect the homeland. We're always there when called upon, and in every state and territory, we stand guard for our communities. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wyoming Army National Guard. Aired by the Wyoming Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
Back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Larry Perotti, Nick Perotti, again, still waiting on our first guest. We know we will have our second guest coming up here in a little bit, that being Chad Whitworth, who's the athletic director at Cheyenne Central. He'll be joining us here in just a little bit, pre-recorded from earlier today. Want to mention this here, again, a couple more quarterback notes since we were talking about quarterbacks before we went to the break. Aaron Rodgers, and this poor guy, let's be real, Nick. You know, I mean, he's been battered about for about the last 3-4 years. And in game one against the Bears, you know, there goes the left knee. And you can tell every time that he's playing.
He came back, so, I mean.
Yeah, but he's got this large brace on his knee. And again, he is a quarterback that.
What are you trying to look for, like sympathy from him?
No, he's a quarterback that likes to take off and run. I mean, I just don't know how much longer this knee's going to, you know, hold out for him. He's getting popped. He's running. And,
again, he knows what – he signed up for the job.
He's making $30 million a year.
Absolutely. Again, hey, if you're going to roll out and you're going to take those risks of running that ball, which he usually does, and you're getting up there in age, hey, comes with the territory. Maybe that coaching staff there in Green Bay needs to sit him down and go, hey – we're paying you $30 million. You're the face of our franchise. Maybe cool it on running.
Well, this is a deal, too. This goes back to, like, preseason. Like last week, he did not practice. Now, again, Aaron Rodgers has been through the wars.
Does he need a practice? No.
But he did not get on the practice field until, like, Saturday, which is the day before the game, obviously. So, but he also is.
I'm assuming, obviously, to rest up and rehab that knee.
And that's all he's been doing is rehabbing. So, matter of fact, Coach Mike McCarthy altered his usual practice schedule in advance of Sunday's game at Washington. He canceled today's practice, although not necessarily because of Rodgers' injury. The Packers' overtime game against the Vikings was played in 80-degree heat with 71% humidity. That followed a Sunday night opener against the Bears. So, although they didn't practice, the Packers are required to submit an injury report with estimates of participation level. Rodgers was listed as a non-participant. So, again.
Good news to know, I guess.
Well, if you're a Packer fan, and there are Packer fans up here.
There are?
Yeah, there's like 5.
Yeah.
Other than that.
Glad we went over that one.
There's some cheeseheads here.
How about the main one? And I noticed there was a little update about it, and I think Vance Joseph talked about it. That one Case Keenum did not practice, I do believe, today, but they are hoping, along with also Von Miller, that they will play in the contest coming up this Sunday at Baltimore against the Ravens. Case Keenum getting a little banged around. There are, for whatever reason, and again, read into what you will on social media side, but people are calling for Chad Kelly to be the starter, not to run the risk for Case Keenum if he is. People are going in the conspiracy locker of saying that Case Keenum is more injured than we are basically to believe at this point in time, that the coaching staff is hiding this. But
well, wait a minute. Let's stop right there. Do you believe the soreness in Keenum's knees right now is that bad? And Vance Joseph is not going to step up to the microphone. He might blame himself that the reason for Keenan's knees are being sore.
Yeah, he blames himself for everything. But he shouldn't be the head coach then.
I guess my question is, though, what do you think? Are you going to believe the social media sites, or are you going to believe what's coming out of?
Why would I believe anything, at least on the social media side? It's again, I don't think it's that big of a conspiracy. It's just, hey, let him, as what you're doing with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, just let him rest, let him relax a bit, let him rehab, and try to get close to 100%.
Sounds like he's going through the same situation right now that Rodgers is going through in Green Bay. Again, Keenum has been part of the National Football League, correct me if I'm wrong, 4 years now. So,
5 or 6,
yeah,
something like that.
But he knows the drill. Again, this is one of those where a lot of these guys, the quarterbacks, the big high-dollar quarterbacks, they don't really need to be out there.
He's only got the high dollar. Is he worth that high dollar? No.
Well,
I really don't think so. Again, the 2
either.
games that he's played with the Broncos has not impressed me at all. Again, kind of like with the Wyoming Cowboys. Hey, Broncos against the Raiders at home, you got lucky. You got lucky that you won that contest and you're not 1-1. Now going on the road against a very talented, a very good Baltimore Ravens team that doesn't look like it's going to roll over for you coming into town. We'll see. We'll see what Case Keenum shows up if he does at all.
I think
I'll play with the social media
side.
side.
Weeks are going to be rough if it is one Case Keenum that is hurting right now.
I'll tell you, this entire season for the Broncos, you go game by game by game. It's a tough schedule. That's why I have no faith. I have no belief that the Broncos will make it to the playoffs this year. I just their strength of schedule. Again, I don't know what it is compared to the rest. But just looking at some of the opponents, especially when you are competing with at least the NFC West, Niners will give them a test, especially because it is at Levi Stadium. You do see the Rams. The Cardinals, the Broncos should get away with a victory on there.
What about the Jets at the Jets?
I don't know. That one, again, Sam Darnold with the Jets.
Texans?
I think the Texans, as much as they're 0-2, which is a very surprising 0-2 for me, I think the Texans could give them a fight. You look at also, too, going through the AFC West where you're going to see the Chargers. I think the Chargers, formal outfit. The Raiders gave you a run for your money at home. Let's see, Kansas City. Kansas City right now is looking like a for-real team and some team that you need to very much respect in the AFC West. But other than that, though, other at least non-divisional opponents, it's, as I've been saying, again, very friendly that this team hits 500 this season, but I think it's probably a 7-9 team. They'll be improved from last year, but I don't think Case Keenum is going to be that savior, that be-all, end-all, at least answer for the Denver Broncos to be, all right, he's our leader. He's getting us to the promised land that is the playoffs. So once again, I don't see it out of Case Keenum. Again, as you use the term game manager, that's it. He's nothing flashy. He'll assist you to get wins. Do I expect him to pull off come from behind wins like a Peyton Manning or other kind of elite quarterbacks? No, I really don't think so. But, again, we're 2 games in. Again, what to make of Case Keenum, it's still up in the air for me. And also, too, it's a little up in the air for this Broncos team in general. Again, defense, they're okay. They're solid. It's nothing great shakes across the NFL. They still need a little work. Offense, definitely question marks as well, too. Again, with Demaryius Thomas, why is he on a milk carton? Why is he, again, who's been, at least in previous years, he's been that go-to guy, that Mr. Old Reliable. He's not that this year.
He's been Mr. Oops, I dropped another one. All right, we're going to take a timeout. Looks like we probably won't have our first guest, maybe in this hour. We might have him next hour. But we do have Chad Whitworth and a conversation pre-recorded from earlier today.
Am I worried that we don't have our first guest again? We can handle it by ourselves.
Yeah, I actually got a little...
We have some 4A stuff to go over, 2A,
this was
1A,
kind of interesting because I had
high school football.
I had some questions on some of this coverage that they were going to get for hoops.
Yeah.
And this might be him right now.
Yeah, it is.
Let's go right to the phone.
You want to go now?
Let's go right now. Take him. We'll grab him here real quick as we say good afternoon. Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk today. We should be talking to one, Mr. Kevin McKinney, and again, he's the UW Senior Associate Athletic Director. How you doing there, bud?
I'm A+.
You're A+. You should be taking it nice and easy this week. It's a bye week.
Can you believe that?
Well, and this is the first of 2.
Yeah, if I was hurt, it'd be even better.
You know, let's talk about the Blue Cross Blue Shield report right now because, and Kevin, you know, I'm not going to throw you any softball questions. I do have a couple concerns, but you know, we have some young men that are hurt, and again too, I look at
some key pieces on the offensive side as well.
Some very key pieces. Then I go back and I hear Coach Bowles' press conference how he talks about it, and I'm thinking, well, maybe we got to stop scheduling the likes of Washington State and Mizzou so we don't get beat up.
Well, you know, we probably won't quit scheduling them, but maybe we might put a couple other games between them, not week after week. But That's a chance you take, Larry, and we've had years where we played these kind of programs and we're fine, and then we've had years. I remember a Joe Tiller year where we had a MASH unit worse than what we have right now after Texas A&M. So it's not necessarily directly because they beat the Cowboys up, or it's a matter of just some bad luck there, and because we've played some of these programs and kind of come out relatively unscathed, but they've just kind of mounted. It started really with New Mexico State, which is not a P5 school. So some years you actually have more than others, and you say, why is this happening? And you can't really put a finger on it. It's just there's some luck involved to injuries and bad luck, and I think that some of it right now is just bad luck for the Pokes.
So over the next 10 days as we speak now, as the Cowboys get ready for Boise State, it looks like off the, quote, injured reserve list, or those that are on the DL right now, it looks like we will be getting some very integral players back into the lineup.
Yeah, I think so. I think, I talked to Nico on Monday, and he believes he'll be back. He had a rib injury, and those are just so tough to come back from because there's not much you can do to repair them unless they're broken. But he had bruised ribs, and that's just a painful injury. You can't move, you can't breathe. But he's feeling much better, and I would be relatively certain he'll be ready for Boise. I think Austin Fort will be ready for Boise. Harshman looks like longer than that. Patrick Arnold, not sure about where he is, but you still got a lot of days left of a lot of rehab and a lot of rest, and so you're hopeful that Moore will be back. But I think a couple of the key parts, Ford and Nico, will probably be ready for sure for Boise. We just have to wait and see on some of the other kids.
Before we focus on Boise State, we want to recap at least past Saturday's contest between Wofford and Wyoming. Now, Kevin, give us your thoughts on just the outcome of that contest. Again, Wyoming does pick up the 3-point victory over the Wofford Terriers at home. Is it, and again, this is something that we've kind of beat to death here on the show with the outcome of this game. Again, our opinions on the offense of the Wyoming Cowboys, but is this something that you were shocked by the outcome? Again, how close it was of a victory? Again, that last-second drive for the victory for the Cowboys? Or is it something that maybe fans need to give a little bit more respect to the Wofford Terriers that, again, an FCS team that has been improved over the past couple of seasons?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of things involved in that game. And one was that Wofford would not get any respect from most people, and that's certainly understandable. You don't see much about them. You don't hear much about them. You know what their level of NCAA is and all that stuff. But we knew they were going to be very physical, knew they were going to be very well coached, and that it would be a very good game. We really did. I think you've got then you add in there that there's some key players on the Cowboys side of things that were not going to be able to play in the game. I think it's really hard to put a price on how much Nico Evans means to the team and how much it hurts to have him out there. I know he's one guy, but he is a leader and obviously a guy that can give you a lot of things. And with him out of there, that's a big loss, and it's a big loss to have those two tight ends out of there. It's a big loss to have your center not playing a lot of the second half. But I think what was the most positive about it was the fact that Tyler, he's still a redshirt freshman, guys, and he's only playing in his fourth game in his college career. The game rested on his shoulders. It just rested squarely on his shoulders, and he responded to that, and he stepped up, and he got his team down the field and got them the winning touchdown. And I think that will pay dividends now That huddle has a lot more confidence in him. I think the coaching staff has a lot more confidence in him. I think there'll be some more of the playbook open up because of how he showed his competitiveness in that game and his toughness. So that was a big positive in it. I know everybody thought that Wyoming should beat Wofford by a big score. That was not going to happen. And so what did happen was the best thing that could have happened. You won the game. I mean, it could have been like it happened in Lincoln, Nebraska, and we'd all been totally down the dumps. And people are disappointed. I understand that. They felt like Wyoming should beat this team by a lot more, but Wofford was pretty good, and they played well, and they played within themselves, and they were well coached. And I think we all felt that was going to be a difficult game. We just needed to get out of it with a win, and that did happen. Not by as much as I'm sure everybody wanted, but we now move on and get into conference play with that victory, and that's better than a loss.
Well, and again, stand up and cheer again for that Wyoming defense. The thing is, too, they do get worn. I mean, that's the problem, especially when we do a lot of 3-and-outs. But you heard it as well as I did, Kevin. The Boo Birds were out in force on our offense quite a bit in that contest.
It was, and you can only watch so many 3-and-outs before you're pretty frustrated as a fan. Totally understand that. Nobody wants that to happen. Certainly not the players and coaches, but especially fans don't want to see that. And I think that the drives that Wyoming did put together, which were 2 pretty impressive drives, they can build on that, and they can look at that and know how it feels and know what they had to do that. That's what the bowl offense is supposed to do. It's supposed to go the length of the field, take 5 or 6 minutes, keep the defense off the field, grind out touchdowns, and obviously not been able to do that up until this game. And the fact that they were able to do that, I think, is a positive that you can work with down the road. But several guys came up with some really big plays to keep those drives going, and after all, that's what has to be done when you move the chains. It's just got to be people making plays, and the Cowboys weren't doing that, especially consistently, until last Saturday, and those 2 drives were what the Craig Bowl mentality is, and so hopefully they can build on that and put a lot more of them together.
Kevin McKinney, UW Senior Associate Athletic Director, joining us here on 1480 K-Ray. Kevin, the break comes at a great time. We heal up. We get an extra week to prepare for Boise. I know Coach Bowl said in his press conference, they're going to kind of taper things back here during the bye week. But, you look at the next month on the schedule, beginning with Boise State. I mean, there's not an easy contest, and it's almost like playing Washington State and Missouri back-to-back for 4 consecutive weeks. I mean, it's a tough road to hoe for the Cowboys.
It is. There's no doubt about it. This is going to be a real grind, and each one of those games in its own right is going to be extremely difficult, one way or the other. I mean, Boise State, we know how difficult that'll be. Hawaii there is a different game than if they're here. Fresno State has really had some outstanding Saturdays, and Utah State has too. Utah State can score, and it's good to have them here. The Cowboys have a tough time in Logan, it seems, but that'll be a very difficult game. Then you've got to go down to your rival, and so that is the toughest stretch of the year, obviously. And the Cowboys are not only going to have to play well, but they're going to try to stay healthy to get through that gauntlet.
Turning our thoughts to basketball real quick here before we let you go, because, again, Cowboys on the bye week, and we're going to let them rest up and heal up a little bit. We received today via Tim and the Media Relations Office that Wyoming announces game times and TV coverage for the 2018-19 campaign. 16 televised games for the Cowboys this year. So, again, good and bad because, when you're on TV, some folks will say, I don't want to go. But, I look at playing on the Deuce or ESPNU. But when we go on to the Big Boy Network, I know the payday is not like it is for football, but do we get a little bit of a payday being on at least the Deuce?
Well, it basically goes to the conference, and so they do the distribution. So it's not like it used to be, where if you happen to be on, you got the check. That doesn't happen anymore. It's a league thing, and so it's just all part of the TV contract. And at the end of the year, you get your check, and the fact that the Cowboys are on the exposure is a good thing. But the money comes from the league when it's all said and done.
So looking at the schedule of games that they're going to be on TV, and I see 5, for example, will be on AT&T Sportsnet, which is 526 on our cable system, or channel 26 on our cable system. So a lot of these, I shouldn't say a lot of these games, but are you kind of surprised at how many games are going to be televised for the Cowboys?
Oh, no. I think that the reputation that Wyoming has, it's good for television to be here in terms of their setup and the way they do things. And the fact that I believe they think the Cowboys will be very competitive. Not surprised. Wyoming has become a pretty good stop for the networks, television-wise.
And final thought here, since we're in the bye week this week, you get a chance, and again, I know you get a chance to step away from the microphone. All of us media guys are calling you and saying, hey, Kev, talk to us. But you get a chance now to kind of venture around campus and check out all of the other sports activities that are going on. Tell us a little bit how things are going in some of the fall sports right now.
Well, they're going really well, Larry. I mean, the volleyball team ran into a buzzsaw in Iowa. That was something that was, I'm sure, unexpected by them. They thought they would play better in that tournament. But soccer's going really well. How about golf? Had the medalist in the Ram Invitational yesterday. That was a big deal. Volleyball has its home conference opener this Saturday with Nevada. That'll be a very interesting match. And you've got the soccer team playing very well right now. They will find out where they stand because they'll be at San Diego State on Friday and New Mexico on Sunday, and those will be their conference openers. So they'll kind of have a barometer on where they are, even though those are on the road and tough matches. That they will. They've played well. I think they feel really good about themselves right now.
Well, Kevin, we want to thank you for joining us once again. Do appreciate it. Enjoy the break, a little bit here for the week, and then get ready for Boise State.
Let's not forget also, too, for fall sports, I do believe rodeo is getting underway over there at Wyoming, where former LCCC head coach Bo Clark is running the squad over there. So
yeah, what's wrong with you? Don't you know about that rodeo thing over there?
I'll tell you what. I've met Bo. He's a heck of a guy, and I think he'll really do a good job with that program. I don't see much of what they do, but they definitely are part of Wyoming's program, and we'll be rooting for him. But I think everybody's really pleased with Bo and what he's going to bring to the table.
All righty, Kevin, we appreciate you joining us today. Enjoy the week off, so to speak, and then we'll catch up with you again soon.
Sounds good, you guys. We'll see you.
All right, Kevin McKinney again joining us here live from the University of Wyoming, UW Senior Associate Athletic Director. We do need to take a break, and we will be right back here on 1480 K-Ray.
If it happens on the diamond, the hardwood, the field, or even the ice, we'll talk about it on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hi, this is Nick Peretti inviting you to join Larry Peretti and myself each weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we, along with our special guests, talk sports locally, regionally, and nationally. And you can chat with us too at 307-514-1071. It's Wyoming Sports Talk today only on 1480 K-Ray, and you can stream live with us at 1480kray.com.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com.
Don't move firewood. Firewood can carry insects and diseases that kill trees. Remember to always get firewood as close to your destination as possible. Burn firewood where you buy or gather it. Trees in towns and forests are threatened by native and exotic insects and diseases that can hitch a ride in a load of firewood. Let's keep forests healthy so we can continue to enjoy camping, hiking, hunting, and fishing. Brought to you by the Wyoming State Forestry Division in cooperation with the U.S. Forest Service.
Family owned and operated, Terrell Honda reminds you that the 2018's gotta go now. They're stacked deep so they can be sold cheap. Whether you buy or lease, this is the perfect time of year to shop for the best selection of 2018 Honda Civics, Accords, HRVs, and CRVs before the 2019s hit the showroom floor. So take a test drive today at Terrell Honda, where you'll love their brand of dealing. 1919 Westland Road, Motor City, Cheyenne. And check them out online at terrellhonda.com.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with a possible thunderstorm this afternoon with highs around 73. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with the rain showers likely with lows around 49. On Thursday, it'll continue to be mostly cloudy with highs around 74. And on Thursday night, it'll be clear skies with lows around 41.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
We're back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Once again, thank you to Kevin McKinney chatting with us. Again, the Cowboys in the bye week. And again,
unnecessary bye week.
Yeah, it came at the right time for the Pokes. And you know, also, too, way we have been talking here this week, you know, I've known Kevin, 30-some years, and I'm not going to sit there and throw it in his face about what's going on, because he is a guy that bleeds brown and gold.
Yeah.
And I know he's going to sit there and tell us that this is a work in progress.
He's going to try and calm down folks like you.
Exactly. And again, my thought process will be, and again, hearing good news, Austin Fort coming back, Nico Evans coming back.
Which is all good. And again,
all of these things are good. You're right, Nick.
Well, again, on that offensive side, what we saw from Valladay, even as much as he's the third stringer for the Cowboys on the running back side, I think Valladay put up a good effort against Wofford. It's just, again, we've beaten it so much down of our opinion on this offense, but again, the numbers speak for themselves. The play calling is just not there.
Well, and again,
it does not allow these players to break out of their shells. Again, it was interesting, at least what Kevin had to say was, hey, we saw Tyler Vanderbilt, or at least what happened again with that game-winning drive at the end for Wyoming. Hey, it now gives them that opportunity to open up that playbook. Well, you should have done that week one with this guy. It does not, again, I would X out. I would just try and black out every little thing in front of Tyler Vanderwal's name. Again, that redshirt freshman tag that he has in front of him, and go, it doesn't matter.
He's the he's
a starter
quarterback.
He's a starter for a reason. You had upperclassmen that did not get the job, again, like a Nick Smith. You went with the redshirt freshman. You didn't have to, but he proved to you that he was ready for it. Let him play football. Let him be that QB. Let him be that field general that you recruited him to be and have confidence into being. Again, the fact that, again, Kevin doesn't obviously speak for the coaching staff or anything like that, but it's a situation of, if you're opening the playbook for him now after seeing that, you should have just done it beforehand. Just let him have the full opportunity. Let him be him. Let him be
Well,
great.
let's also throw this out there, Nick, and you mentioned that to me as well, too. We're through 4 games of the season. And, again, scratching out the redshirt freshman portion of the program, how many touchdown passes does he have through 4 games?
2.
2.
2.
2 touchdown passes. So how much more coddling do you need to do with him? Let's look at the point production. They scored 29 against New Mexico State, and some were scored by the defense.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you only put up 19 points against Washington State, which you gave them all they can handle. And again,
and some of those points were from the defense as well.
And Cooper Roth also helped you, too, with his leg. You scored only 13 points at Mizzou, and you scored 17 last week in the win against Wofford. Those and remember, I told you in the beginning of the year, I said, this is a team, if they win, they're going to win by 17, 13, 20 to 17. They're not going to put a lot of points on the board. I was already back then nervous about this offense. And again, I'm glad that Nico Evans has busted through as one of our premier running backs. And, Austin Ford is our go-to guy.
The offensive production, though, again, the points that the Cowboys are putting up, though, it's not going to get it done against this, at least, Mountain West Conference. Again, you look at who's at the top right now. You got Hawaii. They're averaging 41.5 points per game. You have Boise State, 46.3. You have, Colorado State as they're struggling, but they're 1-3. They're averaging 22.8.
What about Utah State?
54.7 for Utah State. A few teams in around 40 points per game. 43 for Fresno State. The only team, and again, Wyoming is dead last in points per game after 4. Again, they have 4 games compared to the rest of the league that does have 3 under their belt. The only team that is just barely above the Wyoming Cowboys is the lone San Jose State Spartans at 20 points per game. And they've gotten their brains beat out by Washington State, by again, a few upper echelon teams, but they still manage to put on points, even if it is garbage time in those contests. So, again, you're 19.5 points per game under 4 games under your belt right now. Now you're getting into conference action where, again, you look at it across the way, Boise State coming in with 46.3 per game, and they're taking on good opponents as well, too. Again, that's not a shabby opponent to go down to Stillwater to take on Oklahoma State. It's not good. It's not going to get the job done.
And Kevin made another great point, and I know we're getting close to the top of the hour. Kevin made a very good point about Joe Tiller when he was coaching, and that was his first year after taking over for Paul Roach.
Bulls under his fifth.
And they went 4-8 in his first year.
Okay.
That's when they had lost most of their guys during summer camp. Most of their injuries came before they even started the season. But yet, Tiller and the late Larry Corpitz, who was, again, a great engineer of that West Coast offense, which for as many years as Tiller was here, and plus he took that West Coast offense with him to Purdue and did very well, especially there's a quarterback in the league in the NFL that still played under Joe Tiller, him being Drew Brees. Again, that West Coast offense for Tiller eventually started paying off in big dividends. But they went 4-8, Nick, and they were competitive in a lot of those games that they lost. And they didn't have the defense that we have today. Our defense, like I said, I've been around a long time. This is one of the best defensive units I've seen in a while.
This is a defense that you should be thankful for if you're for Wyoming, again, where that Washington State game probably could have been a lot more out ahead. Mizzou could have gotten ridiculous where they could have put up 70 probably. Wofford probably would have.
Back in the day.
Well, I'm just saying, if this defense isn't where it is now, these scores could have gotten a little more out of hand than what it is.
And you and me, we will look at each other, and we knew that Wyoming was the better team against Washington State.
Well, yeah.
I believe they were. It was. I thought we got way too conservative, and it showed when we came out in the second half how conservative we were.
Yeah. But again, if we didn't have this defense that we do have right now, again, if you replace it with anything, any other defense, I don't think Wyoming wins that contest against Wofford this past Saturday. I really don't think so.
I think
that's what allowed them to win.
And I think New Mexico State was a push, if that would be the case. If we didn't have that group of young men out there right now that are on our defensive unit, because the defense carried the offense against New Mexico State.
Yeah.
So again, and I said this at the beginning of the year, that they were going to put the offense on their shoulders, not knowing how bad, and I don't want to use the word bad, how difficult the play selections are. And now all of a sudden we're going to open up the playbook a little bit because Vanderwall has 4 games under his belt. Well, good. I'm glad you're going to open up the playbook, but we still got to put it in the end zone. Mm-hmm. And right now you're not showing me anything that's going to put the football in the end zone.
Yeah.
And that concerns me. All you're showing me play-wise is how to get the punter out there after 3 downs. That's all you're showing me. All right, well, we got to take a timeout and get to the top of the hour here and do the FCC thing. Chad Whitworth joins us here in the 4 o'clock hour. We're back after these words right here on 1480 K-Ray.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Which is being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne. Again, a location near you. Make sure you load up. Tonight is the night to get the 6-pack and a pound. And again, save some bucks when you head on over to Taco John's of Cheyenne. Go ahead. I'm waiting. Do you want me to go pick some up on the way home?
I already ate, so no. Again, you lose out on all. Again,
I lose out? Not if I buy for me. I don't lose out.
Yeah, but then I can't enjoy because, again, I'm not eating again like you. I don't graze like you.
I didn't graze. They haven't eaten lunch at all. All right. We want to thank our friends over at Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. Folks, you heard me offer it to him, and he said no. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service over on Highway 30.
Sorry, I like wearing, fitting shirts and everything.
Mine fit. We have Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Dell Range, Ray and Cindy's Place. Again, we know them for their delicious lunches and dinners, and now you can have 3 squares. They offer fantastic breakfast goodies for you, plus 2 convenient drive-thrus. So, again, if you're in a hurry to get to work, they're going to get you taken care of, and they do a great job right there at the corner of Windmill and Dell Range, right across from Menards. Chick-fil-A of Cheyenne. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way, where they got a deal waiting for you right now on 2018 Kias that need to head off the lot right now, and they need to head to your driveway. So see Greg and A.J. Miller and the entire crew over at Kia of Cheyenne. Platte Valley Bank, 2 banking locations. Rick Flood and his great staff, they are there for you over on Vandehigh. And the East Side staff, they take good care of you as well. College and Pershing, Medicap Pharmacy, Bluegrass Circle right next door to Texas Roadhouse. Again, been in that location for umpteen years. And again, Gene and his great staff always will take very, very good special care of you. Lennox Auto Body with 2 locations, the Auto Glass and Detail Center, Pershing Boulevard, the Main Repair Center over on Dunn Avenue. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Banking done the old-fashioned way, customer service. You, always first and foremost, Monday through Friday, visit First Tier Bank. And right across the street for lunch or dinner, see Joe and his sensational staff over at Mondello's Pizzeria, where their pizza, Mondello's Pizza, still ranked in the top 10 by the Food Network folks. You'll understand why once you bite into a delicious, freshly made pizza from Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. We do flip over the calendar here. Summer's going bye-bye in a couple of days. That means fall's going to be here, so you might want to start taking a look at your heating apparatus. So get a hold of Mars Plumbing and Heating. They'll come on by. They'll get you all ready for the upcoming cold months that will be on the way here, probably once we flip back the calendar to go to standard time. And we always go to our scoreboard at the top of each hour. course, we go to our scoreboard quite often during the football season as well as the basketball season, and our scoreboards are brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
What, are you out of breath after all that? LCCC men's soccer in action earlier today. Unfortunately, do not have a score to pass along, but they are hosting Gillette College over at LCCC. Women's soccer, they will be in action after that game wraps up. They also, too, will be hosting Gillette College. Game time is set for around 4 o'clock, so should be underway in theory, but again, do not know if that men's soccer action has wrapped up yet over there at LCCC. Also, too, do want to remind folks that coming up this Friday, we will be live in Laramie, where we will see the Laramie Plainsmen host the Cheyenne Central Indians. Football action coming up here on 1480 K-Ray, where kickoff will be 7 o'clock. Pregame, 6:30-ish, tentative schedule for that. But again, you can hear it here on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM in the Cheyenne area. I think we even push it up to Wheatland, down to Fort Collins. Again, it's kind of a good broad area, but also too, we do stream on 1480kray.com. And for the visual side, we do stream on Periscope and also to the 1480 K-Ray YouTube channel. So 5 different ways to tune in to see Central versus Laramie, the old-fashioned rivalry coming up this Friday.
You know, you rag on me about being out of breath. Ladies and gentlemen, I see the surgeon here in 2 weeks.
Don't make
and hopefully we'll get this taken care of. Oh, yeah, that's right. You have 2 nostrils. I have one that's totally collapsed right now. So get out of my face, all right?
They got you that air and whatnot to do all that, but you refused it.
I don't need oxygen. I'm fine.
Sounds like you do.
Well, obviously, when you have me doing all the talking because you don't know what to say, that's your problem.
I've done enough.
Major League Baseball scores. Get out of my face. Cardinals have lost to the Braves today, 7-3. That's good news for Rockies and even Dodger fans, depending on the outcome of tonight's game. Twins over the Tigers at Comerica 8-2. Rays beat the Rangers 9-3 at the ballpark in Arlington. Tampa still in the running for that second wild card spot. They're not out of it. They're only 5 out. Just getting underway, top of the first inning. It's the Mets at the Phillies. Game's getting underway when we get out of here. Red Sox at the Yankees. Blue Jays will face off with the Orioles at Oriole Park. Royals and the Bucks at PNC, the lone interleague contest. It's the White Sox and the Indians at Progressive Field. Reds Brewers at Miller Park. 6 o'clock hour will have the M's at the Astros at Minute Maid. Giants and the Padres wrapping up their series at Petco. It will be the Cubs and the Diamondbacks, and the Cubs have put a serious dent in the Diamondbacks' chase for the pennant in the West. Rockies and the Dodgers tonight. Dodger Stadium, 8 o'clock. Tyler Anderson getting the call for Colorado. He will be opposed by Walker Buehler. And the Rockies need to find some hits.
Yeah, go figure. Dodgers looking for the sweep. Hey, go figure.
Holy cow. And the Rockies on this road trip, oh, by the way, 1-4.
Yeah.
1-4.
Yeah, I guess
not
they
1
had
3.
5. Yeah.
And
it might be 1
in the 8 o'clock hour as well, it will be the Halos and the Athletics. They will meet at the Oco later on this evening. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find the store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 K-Ray.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. It is hour number 2. This hour, we get a chance to, we're going to unveil. Matter of fact, Nick already put it out on our social media sites, but
There's no really unveiling.
There's not really an unveiling?
Well, I mean, everyone should already know about it. Again, it's posted on our website, the social media sites.
Well, maybe some are just radio folks only, and we're just going to let them know a little bit what's going on.
I'm just saying it's nothing new. Folks have already known about this. Again, LCCC basketball schedules have been posted, but our broadcast schedule, as can't do all games, because, again, we do have a little complications with football, with high school football, but, again, majority, I think I calculated, we're approaching around 50, 60 games.
Similar to last year, we did 48 games with LCCC. We'll probably be right around that number again this year, and we'll let you know here in a little bit some of the places we get to travel to and bring you action again.
Some brand
similar to what we have done as far as football is concerned, and again, each football broadcast getting a little bit better. We will be in charge of the stream this year. So I know last year the young man that worked with me, Chris, did a great job, but we will be taking care of the stream as well as bringing you the game live from the game site.
Who knows?
Well.
He might be able to do it again,
really?
Or at least assist.
Well, then if they let him go, that'd be nice.
Maybe.
All right. Well, anyway, that we'll talk about that coming up here in a little bit. Thank you again last hour to Kevin McKinney joining us from the University of Wyoming. Again, bye week for the Pokes as they amp up for Boise State next week. Amping up for this weekend's contest, which will be in Laramie at D-Ty Stadium, is the Cheyenne Central Indians.
Are we sure it's D-Ty Stadium still?
Yeah,
okay.
I checked it out.
Right.
Anyway, it's going to be Cheyenne Central matching up with the Laramie Plainsmen. I caught up earlier today with athletic director Chad Whitworth. We had a chance to chat about a couple, three things before we got into the football, and we will check in on that conversation right now. Here's Chad Whitworth. We are joined by Cheyenne Central athletic director Chad Whitworth. Chad, you know the summer's coming to a close, and again, you've had a lot of summer-fall programs off and running. Is it busier at this time of year, or does it get busier during the winter sports, or is it just about the same? You're constantly running around.
Well, I feel like I'm constantly running around. I think a lot of it is with the winter sports, with the two basketballs, and you have the four levels. It feels like there's just a lot more home games because of that. I don't know that it is, but it just feels that way. And I think the other thing is right now we're kind of inside for volleyball only. Everything else is outside, other swimming. But it just, I feel like it slows down a little bit in the winter, but you're kind of caged in, so you feel like you're always inside at school.
You look at your programs here during the fall, and we'll exclude football because we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Talk about what you have seen thus far, your golf, your cross country, as you mentioned, swimming, volleyball, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you've produced some really fine student athletes out of these programs.
Yeah, our golf season just finished this past weekend. We were fortunate enough that Cheyenne hosted the state golf championships, which was a nice event. Coaches from all the schools, Coach Lepore from our place, who obviously works up at the airport golf course, but all the coaches did a nice job. And congratulations to Mr. Danny from East for being the individual state champ, and the East boys were second. Our boys were third, and Ethan Cates finished third as an individual. So their season is wrapped up, which is, it feels like we just started school and they're already done. And then tennis wraps up this weekend, and fortunately for us, we had some individual regional championships, but both our teams, boys and girls, won the regional championship, and I think they both have an opportunity to make a run at state titles this weekend, which is a credit to Coach Clark and Coach Norgauer and the work that those kids put in. Cross country heads to Loveland this weekend, so they will kind of continue. Those kids work hard, man. I remember when I was running track here, I would get up in the mornings and run with the cross-country kids, or our distance kids, I guess, and the hard work that they put in. And those squads are traditionally pretty good. Our girls' squad's been really good over the years, and I think our boys' squad is decent this year. So Coach Wild doing a good job. Volleyball is at home this weekend. They've got Sheridan and Natrona. And then they travel to Casper, next weekend for an invite. And then swimming is they're in Gillette and Sheridan. And when you talk about groups of people and how hard they work, I think swimmers and wrestlers in a high school, and probably anywhere, but in a high school for sure, the effort and energy that they put in is unbelievable and should be commended from the coaches' end and on the athletes' end.
You know, Chad, as we look at the triads that we have, and of course your triad is McCormick Junior High, I'm venturing to say that high schools offer more sporting activities for the student athletes as they get that opportunity to come over to Cheyenne Central. You as the athletic director, do you get involved over at McCormick by saying, hey, gang, these are the programs we offer if you're interested in coming on over and being a student athlete?
Yeah, what we've done in the spring, we've gone down, we've taken our coaches who are available and can get away. We go down and talk to the 8th grade kids, and we take some time to get and visit with those 8th graders about all the offerings that we have. And athletics is great, and it's an opportunity to get kids involved. And, you know, I think everybody will tell you statistically that, you know, kids that are involved in their school tend to do better academically. But it's not just athletics. I mean, there's tons of clubs and organizations that kids can get involved in. And that's, for me, I'm the athletic director, but I was a teacher, and I'm about kids, and I want our kids to get involved and buy into their school community, no matter where they are. They need to buy into that community and become a part of it, because when you do, there's some pride there, but it also helps you in the classroom.
And final thought, as I say, football for last, and again, we will have the Central Indians and the Laramie Plainsmen in the Gem City. Of course, you go back in the day, even though East was around, especially in your day and when Mike was around. But again, this is the true natural rivalry between Cheyenne and Laramie. Again, let's talk about the football team under Mike Apodaca. Some of the things that you are seeing right now with the program. Yeah, wins will come eventually, but I guess what I'm driving at with this question is, what strides are you seeing Coach Apodaca make with the kids?
Well, I think the one thing is it's kind of an attitude thing, and I know that the kids and the coaches are working on that, and I think, you know, with that becomes some accountability, and I think that's the thing that I know he's focused on. And when I say accountability, I don't want people to think, oh, it's just that's the kids. It's not just the kids. It's the coaches. It's me as the athletic director. You know, he's pretty detailed, and there's certain things that he wants to see, and he wants, you know, things taught a certain way. So the coaches are held to a high standard, you know, and then when that's done, he certainly expects the kids to perform it the way that they were taught. And I think those are the things. And I think last week, I mean, I know that Campbell County is down a little bit and struggled, you know, the last few years, but I'm hoping that sometimes it just takes, you know, your offense being able to move the ball to gain some confidence in what they're doing. I don't know that it matters who you're playing. Once you start feeling that confidence, you feel like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I get this. Now I understand what he's asking me, and I can get it done. And it takes, you know, that game. I think defensively the last couple of weeks we've played pretty well. And so, you know, maybe they're gaining some confidence in what they're doing too. So, you know, I think that's the key. And I agree with you, Larry. The wins and losses the wins will come, but you know, it's just going to take some time, and hopefully everybody's patient and understands that, hey, this is a process, and it's not going to happen overnight, and we're going to keep plugging away at it. And I know Coach Apodaca, the coaching staff, and our athletes are going to keep doing that.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need.
For over 50 years, Capital Lumber Company has offered a full line of hardware and lumber selections. Plenty of materials, even for the do-it-yourselfer. So talk with one of the many experts today at Capital Lumber Company. Capital Lumber Company is the best in the region, and they are your true value hardware store. Lumber One in Cheyenne. Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue.
Get the unexpected with the new 2018 Kia Sorento. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and with Kia Sorento, you get intelligent and advanced technology for a better driving experience. The 2018 Kia Sorento helps you stay on course with available autonomous emergency braking and a lane departure warning system. Kia Sorento is also available with surround view monitor and parking assist to warn you of nearby vehicles. Come in today or call us at 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
Do you know that almost 165,000 new cases of prostate cancer will occur in the U.S. this year? Do you know that prostate cancer will be diagnosed in 1 out of every 9 males during his lifetime? Cheyenne Urological reminds everyone that September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and checkups are a key component to avoiding prostate cancer. So, gentlemen, stay healthy. Get a checkup. Call Cheyenne Urological at 635-4131 and make an appointment today. That's 635-4131.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. They have a 16-month CD at an annual percentage yield of 2.33% and a 27-month CD at an APY of 2.74%. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with a possible thunderstorm this afternoon with highs around 73. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with the rain showers likely with lows around 49. On Thursday, it'll continue to be mostly cloudy with highs around 74. And on Thursday night, it'll be clear skies with lows around 41.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. We are gearing up for that one time of the year where all 4 of the major sports will be in operation. We had hockey get underway last night at the Pepsi Center, right?
It's preseason, so again, we're getting towards regular season start again. When you'll have all in real action,
basketball
is
will
October.
Basketball will be amping up here pretty quick. Then you already have Major League Baseball winding down with the playoffs / World Series, and then of course you got the National Football League.
I want to go back to at least what Chad had to say there with you again. That is what's going to be at least reset on our pregame show coming up this Friday, but. Again, with their tennis teams, both boys and girls did win the regionals, are heading up to state. Did put out the word to Karen Clark, a head coach over there at Cheyenne Central with the tennis teams. Unfortunately, they're on the road right now getting up to state tournament, so unfortunately won't be able to get her thoughts this week, but hopefully we'll reach out again next week and be able to talk post-results, hopefully a few championships for Cheyenne Central, especially on the tennis side. So hopefully we will talk with her about her tennis teams coming up next week. But other than that, though, again, football coming up, Central, Laramie, a good rivalry, 2 teams. I think, again, Central coming off their victory as much as it was against Campbell County.
Wins win.
Absolutely.
As they say, right?
Absolutely. And I think, but this Laramie team, I don't know what to make of the Plainsmen. The Plainsmen
can be good, and at times
I would say they're competitive. They're competitive with no matter who they play. It really feels like that. The Plainsmen, it's kind of like that fly on the wall where you're trying to just get it taken care of, but again, they just come back after more and more. I give much respect to the Laramie Plainsmen. They're going to put up a hell of a fight against the Central Lyon Indians, but you wonder if momentum carries the Indians into this game again, knowing that it is that rivalry, that old school rivalry between Cheyenne and Laramie, and maybe filters or at least boosts up those athletes over there at Central to maybe pick up another victory coming up. And I think they absolutely can. I think as much as it's on the road, I think the Central Lyon Indians, especially of what they did and what they showed against Campbell County on the road, I think they can get it done coming up this Friday. I think it's going to be a close one. I really think, especially knowing what Laramie's done this year, they've kept every game close. I think it's going to be a close game, and what we saw with Kelly Walsh and Cheyenne East, it might be another game that comes down to the wire.
I'm going to disagree with you.
In my opinion.
I think Central at least found the offensive power they needed last week at Campbell County, but guess what? Everybody that goes up against Campbell County is going to find offense, okay?
No.
They're just not good. And I'm not taking anything away from the win. Don't even jump on me for that. the Central Indians still are young, still trying to
learning a brand new system.
learning the system. Again, offensively, defensively, they still have weaknesses. And I have a feeling, again, Laramie has really gone through some tough times in the 21st century. And as of late, over the last couple, 3 years, they're finding some stability in the program.
Well, Laramie as well, again, with Mike Apodaca. I do believe Clint Reed is in his second year, I do believe, with Laramie.
Yeah.
So, again, they're still under a brand-new kind of regime over there in Laramie. Again, brand-new field, brand-new high school as it was just recently built. But, again, it is a team that's also I wouldn't say rebuilding, but it's still trying to find its own identity. This year, again, this Laramie team has been competitive. It's given every team that it's gone up against a fight. There's no easy win when you're taking on Laramie. So this contest, again, 7 o'clock kickoff, which we will have on 1480 K-Ray, again, where we stream the audio and the video on all 5 different ways for this contest. Again, coming up at least this Friday. Little factoid with this game, Laramie, the Plainsmen, have won the last 3 contests between these two after Central was winning the previous 16 in a row. So Laramie turning fortunes around after Central's kind of put them in place, but maybe the Central Indians coming up this Friday, reverse fortunes, bring up their new, again, another 16-game winning streak against the Laramie.
And again, too, this is about the halfway mark of the season.
Yeah.
You kind of look at wins now, and again, to get you,
it's more
get you in the playoffs, 2 is going to probably get you there, depending.
I think 1 to sneak you into that 8 spot again, where you're looking at with South.
You're going to need at least 2 wins getting that number 8 spot, in my opinion. I think 1 is going to get you on the outside looking in, and 0, obviously.
Yeah, I would say 2, as I'm looking at, again, with Central pulling up their 1. And again,
so
the two winless teams are South and Campbell County. Again, also, too, down there would be the likes of Rock Springs. They're not winless, but no, I guess I can agree with that one.
Well, and again,
it might get a little muddled if for whatever reason we come up where Central and South, which will be the final game of this year, where Central will be on the road at South. Maybe that's a situation where it could be all for grabs again. One of those teams
could
sneaks
be
in that last contest.
Who knows?
At least that last seed, it could be all up for grabs. So it'll be interesting to see.
And again, like I said, we're at the midway point of the season. You look at the records right now. East is 3. Again, I'm looking on the local side here. East 3-1, Central 1-3, South 0-4, and we're seeing a South team getting better.
Oh yeah, they're getting better week by week,
improving week by week. And again, they gave East all they can handle. Coach Chad Goff would be one to tell you that they got a wake up call before they headed out to the field for the second half. They were like they were in a dogfight.
Well, absolutely. I think you'll see that momentum. Again, what I keep on telling you is, especially with the South High team, is they need to conquer those small little hills. Again, as I told you from the Kelly Walsh contest, now going into East, hey, they've conquered everything that I've kind of told them to do. Now your main kind of focus right now, again, where you've gotten over those little tiny hills, those little victories for South, now win a quarter, win a half. Win the contest. And I think going on the road, it's going to be a little tough against Rock Springs. Rock Springs does have a little slight series advantage in that one, but South would not surprise me on the road. Possibly picks up that first win. Again, Rock Springs had their struggles here against, and granted, that was on the road for them against Central High, but I think South, they carry a little bit of that momentum that they got from East, that little confidence that they did gain. Again, here it is, a top 5 ranked team in Class 4A, an East High team that's kind of owned your number for quite some time. You had positives. You were tied with them at half.
Right.
You had no business being tied with that team in some people's aspects, but you did it though, and you almost had a shot of winning that contest.
Right, and again, if we play the game like Kevin was playing it today, they remind you a little bit of Wofford. They shouldn't have gone toe-to-toe. They shouldn't have gone toe-to-toe with the powerful East, but they did, and they were just as strong, and they were a great plan of attack that was run against the Thunderbirds. I like what you're saying. If it was at South High, I would feel a little more confident. On the road at Rock Springs, that's also again, it's a tough road trip. It's a tough place to play. It's a tough place to win at. So.
Anyways, Cheyenne South will be at the number 5 ranked Rock Springs Tigers. That is a 6 o'clock kickoff. Rock Springs does lead that series 6-1 and has won the last 4 in a row against South High. So South High looking to reverse fortunes in that contest, just like Cheyenne Central against Laramie. So hopefully both of them can get on the winning side. Again, have confidence. It would not surprise me if South and Central do pick up the victories this Friday. I would not be surprised. Rock Springs does not impress me.
That would be great.
Rock Springs does not impress me.
And that's fine. I think you're just a little off on this one. I think Rock Springs, again, where they lost their quarterback who's now leading Cheyenne East, they got some big hosses up front.
Yeah.
These are big kids. And I got a feeling that they're just going to be a little stronger, going to be able to muscle that South offensive and defensive line.
We'll see.
Throughout the contest.
We'll see.
And then for Cheyenne Central, yes, there were some big graduations by Laramie last year, and this is a young Central team going into Laramie under a new system. It could be interesting. It could be an interesting game, but again, with Central, and we go back to week 1 where they played against Thunder Basin.
Week 0.
Week 0. Can't turn the ball over.
Clearly.
Can't give up short fields. Gave up way too many short fields. And again, even a Laramie.
You gave up, but again, those were penalties, turnovers, and short fields too. Probably, again, right behind Natrona, one of the best teams in the state.
Laramie can score too. They have proven they can put the ball in the end zone. So, again, you don't want to make mistakes. And again, I still think this team is young. They're improving. But I just don't know if they're ready yet for that move up the charts. And that's just my opinion.
We'll see. Also, too, coming up this Friday, number 4 ranked Sheridan Bronx. Go figure, they've kind of fallen from graces. That team will be on the road at Kelly Walsh up in Casper. That is a 6 o'clock kickoff. The Sheridan Bronx have won the last 12 against Casper Kelly Walsh. But also, too, how about this? Last Kelly Walsh win at home in Casper was way back in the day of 2007. So Kelly Walsh has a big mountain to climb against Sheridan Bronx, but here's a perfect time to take advantage of the Sheridan team that is kind of losing its identity, kind of falling from graces at this point. It's Sheridan. This is not what I expected of where they would be at right now. Granted, again, not an easy road to go to Natrona, get the victory there. Again, they've had issues.
But last week's loss to Thunder Basin, we were not shocked.
I'm not shocked by that. I think Thunder Basin now has dethroned of possibly Natrona and Thunder Basin. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be the telltale. Again, obviously, regular season does not translate in the postseason. We've seen teams upset or come from behind where they had no business winning.
I've seen East beat Natrona in semis to go to a state championship.
But Thunder Basin just looks really impressive.
Well, and here's the deal, too. With Casper Kelly Walsh, and the only reason I give them a puncher's chance in this one is simply for the fact they're at Harry Gelding Stadium. If they were at Homer Scott Field,
you got Spielberg.
I would, it looked like he was held in check, though, last week. So
I mean, what team has not been held in check? But I mean,
but again, they have to slow down. Now this one is on natural grass too. This is not on the speedy all weather turf,
which is so weird.
And that will slow down Sheridan to a certain degree. It will slow down their run and shoot offense. You know, they have a high powered offense. They can score anywhere, anytime on the field. So I think that might slow them down just a tad. And again, both teams coming off losses. We'll see who ponies up to the bar. And our final game?
Well, we got 2 others as well. But Campbell County will be on the road, technically across town in Gillette, as they'll see number 2 Thunder Basin. That is a 7 o'clock kickoff up there. Thunder Basin leads.
Don't even need to go.
Thunder Basin leads the series 1-0.
And they'll be up 2-0.
This one's going to be a running clock. It's going to get ugly.
Absolutely, it's going to get ugly early. And the thing that's kind of interesting, and we were talking to one of the broadcast guys up there in Gillette. They don't have that. East Central rivalry, East-South or South-Central, you know.
This is the second game they've ever played.
Yeah, but the Gillette folks are going to sit with, they're going to sit there and watch the
ball. A lot of those Thunder Basin folks were cheering on Campbell County, and again, a lot of those student athletes were a part of Campbell County for, again, however many years.
Whatever they were, sophomore or freshman.
Do I expect a rivalry yet? Not really.
Probably it's going to take about 4 or 5 years before they develop into a rivalry because, again, Campbell County is young. Thunder Basin in its second season is veterans, seniors mixed in with juniors. Of course, Hamilton, the sophomore. Like I said, and you said it best too. This should be a running clock. I would say early in the third quarter. I would be shocked if it isn't. And again, we've seen stranger things happen in high school football over the years. If this one does not go according to Hoyle, where the third quarter it's a running clock, I would be more than shocked.
Yeah, absolutely. If Campbell County could pull off the upset on this one,
no, now you're asking. You're asking for too much.
I'm not asking for anything. I'm just saying if it does happen, it'd be. You'd have to just kind of question life as is right now of what is going on there, of how Thunder Basin would lose to the Camels up in Gillette, but especially on their home turf there in Thunder Basin. But that contest, interesting to see how it goes. And then the final game in Class 4A coming up this Friday, number 1 Natrona at number 3 Cheyenne East here in Cheyenne over at Oakey Blanchard Sports Complex. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff. Natrona, the Mustangs, they have won the last 2 in a row and have won 4 of the last 5 against Cheyenne East. This one, Natrona they're number 1 for a reason. They are an absolutely great team. They can get it done on the road. They know the Cheyenne East team very well. We knew it from last season. Again, going up to Casper Natrona where East had to take them on, and Natrona just ran away with that victory. This one, you give a little bit of advantage to East at home. That's about it. Natrona just piece by piece, offense, defense, they are a solid team. This is a team that is deserving of number 1 spot. It's a team that has to be absolutely favored to win the state title coming up in November. But for East, what they need to do is not be flat in the first half against Natrona County. At least that is cut and dry. You cannot come out flat like you did against Cheyenne South. You need to hit them hard. Avoid the costly turnovers. Avoid the stupid penalties as well, too. Again, Coach Goff mentioned that in the post-game show with us after that South contest, is they need to come out fast, come out strong, not dragging, and also to carry that momentum past half as well, too. Again, play full 4 quarters against this team, and you might have a shot. And I think East does have a shot, but it's going to be very tough against the Mustangs.
Well, the only thing I can hang my hat on was watching the underclassmen last year in the sophomore game defeat Casper Natrona. Again, I know Natrona, as well as East, graduated some very good seniors last year. So both teams are loaded, and Natrona just reloads each and every year. The thing for the Thunderbirds is, and we've seen this a couple times, how their drives just stall. They are moving.
I wouldn't say it's stalled.
No, they move down the field, and then it's a dumb penalty. I mean, a dumb penalty.
Yeah.
Or they're
a young penalty that they should not be making, and Chad Goff would reiterate.
A play that nets them a 5-yard loss.
Yeah.
These are things you can't do against Natrona.
No. You could get away with it against South, but not against this Natrona County team.
You either go north or south on that field. At the Oakey Blanchard Sports Complex, you can, and if Natrona does score first, you have to match them. You have to challenge them. You have to go toe to toe with these guys. If Natrona wins 35-0 on Friday night, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked.
I'd be very surprised by that final score.
But if they do win something like that, then I'm saying no one's going to beat them.
I wouldn't say no one because again, Thunder Basin
could match up with them. I don't think they can beat them.
We'll see.
I think East after that loss to Thunder Basin and the first 2 quarters against South High, I think those 6 quarters of football woke them up as they went into halftime last week. I think you're going to see a much better East team. More, they're going to be in that attack mode. They're not going to be sitting back.
Well, you would
hope
so.
No, but it's almost like they were waiting for things to happen. Now they're going to come after you.
I wouldn't say they were waiting, but they took South way too lightly. And I think Coach Goff mentioned that in the postgame as well too, of saying, hey, we realized, hey, we had to play a football game, not just let them just beat themselves on their own. No, we had to compete in that contest, but should be a good one. Hopefully East can get it done in an upset in Natrona coming up this Friday.
And that's the way you have to look at it. It would be an upset if they can beat them this weekend.
Are you done? Anyway, so moving out of Class 4A, let's go to Class 2A, just to give you a local side here in Laramie County. Wheatland will be taking on Burns. This will be just down the road in Burns. That is a 7 o'clock kickoff. Wheatland has won the last 4 contests between these two. And then in Class 1A for Pine Bluffs, they are the number 2 ranked team in Class 1A. They'll be at Tongue River. That is a 6 o'clock kickoff. Tongue River leads the series 3-2. But Pine Bluffs, since they are on that lengthy winning streak, have won the last 2 contests between these two. So Laramie County, at least towns and schools in the area, again, got some big contests coming up this Friday as well.
Burns will have, again, both contests are going to be tough for both squads. Burns going up against the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs back in the day, 3A school. They've all been a pretty decent program.
Yeah, and Burns is certainly showing some at least good turnaround, especially under Brad Morrison, so hopefully they'll pick up the win at home. And then for Pine Bluffs, I don't know if you could say it's going to be a tough go-around for them, because it seems like for the past 2 years nothing has been that tough. They're on an 18-game winning streak. It doesn't seem like Pine Bluffs, the Hornets, are slowing down anytime soon. They are good.
Yeah, Tongue River, though, they're not a bad outfit, and again, they will.
I'm just saying that tongue-in-cheek.
They will be a challenge.
I'm just saying Pine Bluffs, they are a dominant force in Class 1. And nothing looks like they're slowing down.
Everywhere they go, they got a bullseye on their chest, so they need to be fully aware of it before they kind of say, hey, let's chalk this up in the W call.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. We're going to come back and we're going to talk some hoops as we will get ready. Yes, it's almost basketball season. Trust me, it will be here before you know it. We're back after these words right here in 1480 K-Ray.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI-FM and 1480 K-Ray AM, are just that, local. Serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 K-Ray.
It's Lee from Absolute Flooring. Boy, is it hot. I don't just mean the temperature, but the deals at Absolute Flooring. Summer is the best time for new flooring in your home, and we have a full line of flooring options priced right for your budget. We have a large choice of styles, colors, and textures to suit your every taste. Experienced consultants and professional installers will complete your Absolute Flooring experience. Stop in at 3573 East Lincoln Way and visit AbsoluteFlooringWIO.com. Your home, your floor, your store, absolutely.
Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service, proven and respected when it comes to the care of your vehicle. For nearly 25 years, Cars has been there to repair and fix those minor problems to get you back on the road without major difficulties. And now, as we do more traveling at this time of year, see Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service first for your car or truck when it comes to tuning it up, an oil change, brakes, shocks, work on your air conditioning unit, and so much more. John and his crew at Cars gives your vehicle the precise detail it deserves. Respected with quality workmanship. Always bring your vehicle to Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service at 604 West Lincoln Way. Call for an appointment at 632-0498. Open Monday through Friday.
The Plastic Reconstructive and Hand Surgery Clinic at Cheyenne Regional Medical Group is excited to welcome plastic surgeons, Drs. Bill Wyatt and Joe Luby, to our team. Both doctors are board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeons with special training to diagnose and surgically treat problems of the hand, wrist, and forearm, in addition to providing plastic and reconstructive surgery. If you are considering plastic or hand surgery, contact us at 307-638-8987 to discuss our surgical options. Now accepting Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE, and UHC.
Your everyday drive should be anything but average. The new 2018 Kia Sportage has state-of-the-art technology for convenience, entertainment, and driver assistance. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and the 2018 Kia Sportage has available subscription-free UVO connectivity with a color touchscreen display for hands-free calling, navigation, music, and more. Stay in touch and be at your best wherever you go. Come in today or call us at 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to JollyRogersRV.com.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Boys, this halftime score is not indicative of our talent level. We're a lot closer than I thought we'd be, and old Coach has just the thing to get us over the hump. Street tacos from Taco John's. You can get them with chicken or new sirloin steak or pork carnitas. That's a triple option of awesomeness. Let's go get some.
Get 3 street tacos for just $5 at Taco John's.
Hustle up, boys. If we leave now, we can be back for the fourth quarter.
Olay the Day at Taco John's.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with a possible thunderstorm this afternoon with highs around 73. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with the rain showers likely with lows around 49. On Thursday, it'll continue to be mostly cloudy with highs around 74. And on Thursday night, it'll be clear skies with lows around 41.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today as we are getting into the home stretch of our program.
Do have a final score.
You do have a final score?
Got it from A.D. Clark Rasmussen out there at LCCC, but the LCCC men's soccer program, as they were taking on Gillette College today, unfortunately lost 2-1. So the women won't be getting underway, or at least they should be underway over there at LCCC. So unfortunately, yes, the men did lose today 2-1.
And we will have coming up for you here, about the first part of November? Speaking of LCCC,
November 6th, so a Tuesday.
And Nick released our broadcast schedule today on our social media site, so we're going to talk just briefly because we got very few minutes left here. We also want to mention that the Rocks and the Dodgers are going to match up here in a little bit. But go ahead and let's talk about probably equal games between men and women, right?
Calculated that it should be, absolutely. But, again, we'll have, other than the conference schedule where, again, they will play the doubleheader, but I did try to at least keep it equivalent on both sides for when they do have split games. So, yes, our first contest of the year officially will be with the LCCC men. It will be Tuesday, 6th in November. We'll be on the road at Northeastern.
In Sterling, Colorado.
So, looking forward to that.
The Plainsmen.
Good on them.
I'm just helping you out here with these names.
I don't. I'll know.
You'll need to know.
I'll know it when it's necessary. Anyway, so a few other road trips, or at least a few other teams that we'll be seeing, kind of new ones on an LCCC schedule. For instance, on the women's side, they will see a home and away contest between Air Force Prep, which will mean Air Force will be here in Cheyenne. We will see them November 13th. And then also, too, they will be on the road to see them as well, as I'm looking through my schedule for that one. They will be on the road at least same Tuesday, the 6th of November. They'll be down in Colorado Springs. Unfortunately, we will not have that one as we'll be busy with the men. But a few others for around Thanksgiving weekend, or at least Thanksgiving week, Friday and Saturday, we will be with the women as well, too, as you were last year with the Cook Classic. We will be back there again with the McCook Classic, as we'll see the Northwest Kansas Technical College, and then also to the CSU club team, those two contests during that McCook Classic.
And those Lady Mavericks of Northwest Kansas, they're pretty good.
A few other teams of note. Fort Carson will be coming up to Cheyenne to take on the LCCC women. Also, too, let's take a look here. Women, also, too, on the road. They will be in Alamosa coming up in January the 2nd. They will be taking on the Adams State Junior Varsity. So a lot of new opponents for the women coming up this year. Men, around that Thanksgiving time, they will be at Salt Lake. They will do the Salt Lake Community College Classic as they did last year. They'll see the likes of Snow College and Salt Lake Community College that 23rd and 24th of November. But again, with also too basketball, we are moving, or at least LCCC is moving up north. So we will see the likes of Casper. We will see the likes of Central Wyoming, home and away. We will see Western Wyoming, Eastern Wyoming, Gillette, Sheridan, Northwest as well. So, again, a lot of road trips. Yeah, so Powell, Riverton, Rock Springs, Torrington, Casper, Gillette, and Sheridan. Pretty much, again, your Region 9 conference is composed of nothing but Wyoming teams. So,
and that's nice this year that we get to do the Region 9 North. Now, also, too, as we get started on the 7th, you said, right? Tuesday the 7th? 6th. We left open the 10th on purpose, November 10th, because that's also the high school state championship. We don't know.
We also wrote off the semifinal round where November 2nd and 3rd is when things will officially get underway for LCCC men and women, as they will be both at the Sheridan Classic. For instance, the men will be seeing the Wyoming All-Stars and then also taking on Otero College. For the women during the Sheridan Classic, they will see the College of Southern Idaho and the Wyoming All-Stars up there in Sheridan, Wyoming. So we did write that one off as well, because that will be state semifinals in football. So again, not going to commit to that just yet. Same with the state contest, which will be on the 10th, where men will be at home for McCook. Unfortunately, again, if any team from Cheyenne makes it over to state, which there is a possibility, again, we'll be over in Laramie, so it's going to be tough to be in two places at once. But again, men and women on the 10th will be hosting here in Cheyenne, McCook. So maybe, again, it's tentative schedule. It can always adjust on the fly. Things do change. Teams do not show up as well, too, as what we learned from last year as well. Again, those club teams like to just go, we got to work instead of playing a basketball game, so unfortunately we do have to cancel. So, again, all those updates regarding our schedule will be notified here on air, but also, too, on our social media sites and the 1480 K-Ray website as well.
And also, too, in addition to the LCCC slate that Nick has posted on our social media sites, we, again, will be continuing our commitment of high school hoops with East, Central, and South. And, again, all games that we carry up until, we got the regionals here in Cheyenne this year and the state, which will be, again, in Casper. But the bottom line is you'll hear all games here on 1480 K-Ray. We're not going to, move back and forth of radio stations. We're going to have all games here. And we'll have as many games as we'll be allowed to air this coming basketball season. Yeah. It's going to be busy for us.
You only got to focus on LCCC. I got both.
Yeah, well, I'm gearing up. It's a lot of work.
Who signed up for it?
No, I enjoy it. I enjoy bringing the games and hopefully.
And I'm giving you a break as well too. I'm joining you on the road at home.
You're not giving me a break.
I am. I'd like to see you run the equipment.
All you're doing is killing the ratings. Anyway,
please, you've already done that.
Moving right along. No. You don't get a chance.
Where was this at before I came back from Las Vegas? No one even knew about this station until I was here.
Major League Baseball on tap for this evening are the Rockies and the Dodgers as they'll wrap up their 3-game series. Dodgers up by a game and a half. Worst they could be is a half game after tonight.
Give me Giants Padres. I want to see the sweep.
Yeah, boy, and Hunter Pence, he clobbered one last night. He almost hit the scoreboard.
Hunter Pence, rumors right now swirling that he might thinking about calling it a career.
He should. He's just been so oft injured here. But anyway, let's go back to the Rockies and the Dodgers.
Hey, go figure. Yeah, it was a close contest, but the Dodgers found a way to sneak it out.
I told you last night that it was going to be a great pitching matchup. It lived up.
It really did. But again, this Dodger team, as I told you Monday and Tuesday that this is a team that's been here, did it, done it. They know in clutch moments of how to win these contests, these ball games when they need to, again, against opponents. Hey, this is a Rockies team. You need to bury away if you want to clinch your 6th straight NL West division title, and they're doing it.
You know, and
they're doing it in clever ways as well, where, again, Rockies pulled out ahead, Dodgers had to climb back, again, one run at a time, but here it is back and forth. Then the Dodgers took advantage of it. I do believe that went into extra innings.
Yeah, it went to the 10th inning last night. And again, gosh, I hate these late-night games. But I will tell you this. I am not even all that butthurt that Ottavino gave up the winning home run last night. And again, losing 3-2.
You should. He's the most clutch guy on that bullpen.
I'm not. I'll tell you why I'm not. The Rockies on this road trip are pathetic. They are 1-4. They've scored a total of 7 runs.
Then here's what you do: is you hit
5 games.
Then you should be hitting the panic button right now, because again, that's why I'm saying you should be surprised that Ottavino let again the game-winning home run. He's your probably most consistent bullpen pitcher out there.
Yeah, but you go to the top of the 10th inning. You had Chuck Nasty leading off. He grounded out. You have LeMahieu whiffing, and you have Nolan Arenado whiffing. Not good. And then in the 9th inning against Kenley Jansen, they actually had a shot when Parra got on. And what did Iannetta do? He whiffed.
But
it's like
this is something that is nothing new for this team. It's that downward swing that they have. Again, it's this roller coaster ride with its either the offense, the bullpen issue. That's what I'm saying. The Rockies, if they make it to the playoffs, it's a team that's not going far. Because again, they have issues.
Breathe a sigh of relief if they do. Trevor Story, by the way, good news.
It's not as bad as
inflammation in his elbow. Couple 3 days rest. I would expect him probably maybe the weekend series with the Diamondbacks. I would be surprised if he doesn't play. If not, he'll be back for the final games at home against Philadelphia and Washington. But that was good news. Again, the MRI, because they were talking about this UCL, and it's like, no, it didn't look like it. But again, I think what he got was one of those good old-fashioned, you get those little stingers in your elbow. So, I like I told you yesterday, I'm thinking a little bit of that's going to be in his elbow, and he'll be playing some baseball.
For those listening, he made a finger and as a shot and everything.
It will be a cortisone shot. I guarantee you that's what they're going to be popping into that elbow. And been there, did it.
Well, they need him back out there because clearly they're
Hampson was okay last night. He wasn't bad. He's just not going to knock it out of the park like Story does.
But I'm just saying this Rockies team right now is in a bad situation where the Dodgers are looking like a team that's in control, that's not going away anytime soon, clearly. Again, they have full control of the NL West. And again, for the Rockies, your best bet, as much as Cardinals did lose today, you still have that wild card opportunity. But right now, it's still not looking good for the Rockies. Again, a lot needs to be done.
Going back last night, Freeland, Oberg, and even Ottavino in the 9th inning look good. Unfortunately, the bats have gone on a milk carton. They're missing right now. All right, we got to wrap things up. Coming up tonight,